Hello, friends, and welcome to your weekly pick a card reading with me, Intuitive Rene. I hope you are having an amazing week, and I hope you are excited about this pick a card as I am. So, we're going to do things a little bit differently, as always, on this channel. So, we're still focusing on you, we're still focusing on what you need to know in order to have just the best life ever. But I don't have too much of a plan today. So we're going to hand over to Spirit. We're going to trust that Spirit going to give us whatever it is that we need. I'm going to do 3 readings as I do generally every week. I'm going to do 3 readings for you. You're going to get to choose which of the 3 readings you resonate with. And the 3 readings, we're just going to allow the Oracle and the Tarot cards that I have chosen, that I've got out on the table, we're going to allow them to speak. We're going to allow them to tell you whatever it is that you need to know. So I'm not having a theme this week. I'm not having any kind of questions or any kind of guidelines. We're sort of just handing over to Spirit and saying, give us whatever we need. And I'm just going to be the voice. I'm just going to be the voice that gives you whatever information you need. We are into the month of May at the time of releasing this video, although the readings that I'm doing are timeless. They're not specific to any time. They're not specific to any time of the year or any area or anything. So whenever you come across this video, whenever you come across this, it's going to be relevant and appropriate to you. So generally speaking, the way pick a card readings work, in case you haven't done one before, is I record 3 readings that generally follow the same kind of method or the same kind of spread or the same kind of layout. But as I said, this one, we don't have any of that. We're just going to go with the flow and just see where it takes us. But generally speaking, the way it works is when you come in, you get to choose. There's normally either a crystal or a number or a something that you use to help you choose a reading. So what I want to do today, as you can see, the only thing I have on this table is this little green block. It is a deck of cards. It is a deck of words, I should say. If you've watched my week ahead readings that I do, you will recognize this. So it is from the Word of the Oracle, but I only have the green words. And I don't know why I chose the green words. I just did. I was listening to what was happening in my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little deck and I'm going to shuffle it and I'm going to draw 3 cards. I'm going to lay the 3 cards on the table here, and these are going to be the cards that will describe the readings. Okay, so it'll be these words that will help you to choose the reading that is relevant and appropriate to you. And again, the way that I record these pick a card readings is I record the intro first. Then I record the first one, the second one, and the third one. So right now I have no idea what words are going to come up, and I have no idea what the readings are going to be about. So we're all going into this in the same way. So, and these readings, I love doing these readings because I never know what to expect. I never know what's going to come out, and I always just trust that it's going to be whatever it is that you need, and whatever it is that I need, and whatever it is that everybody needs. And as always, all I ask in return is a thumbs up from you and a comment from you in the comments below, and that would be awesome. Just to know that you're appreciating and enjoying what I offer, what I give. So shuffling, we're looking for 3 cards that I'm going to draw, 3 words, I should say, that I'm going to draw, that are going to help you choose the reading that is relevant and appropriate to you. So what is it that you need to know right here, right now from Spirit? So what do you need to know right here and right now? Okay, so I think I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there. 1. Not turning them over yet. Keep you in suspense a little bit longer. All right. I have got the 3 cards, the 3 words drawn and laid on the table. Like I said, I haven't turned them over yet. I'm going to leave them there just for a brief second. I want to show you the cards that I want to work with today. And once you know the cards, you know the words, you will know exactly which way you want to go. So I am working with this tarot deck today. You may recognize it. You may be familiar with it. It is the Everyday Witch Tarot. It is such an awesome deck. I love the artwork. It reads so well. And I don't know why, I was just in a bit of a witchy vibe today. So I thought we will use the Everyday Witch Tarot. I also have out my Everyday Witch Mini. So you can see there is, just to show you the size difference. This is obviously the full-size tarot, and then we have the mini. So I have the Everyday Witch Mini as well, which is also, I mean, it's exactly the same. It's just teeny tiny, and we will use this for clarification or extra information if needed. So I have that one available. And then on this side of me, I have the Everyday Witch Oracle cards. So again, these are now, just to show you the size. Let's do this actually because it's fun. Hold on. We have the Oracle, we have the normal size tarot, And then we have the teeny tiny tarot. I love working with decks that have these kind of pairings and partners because it brings such an interesting dimension to the readings. So I'm going to work with those three decks, but then I also have this one, which I've now suddenly realized I've forgotten what it's called. Where's its box? There's its box. Sorry, excuse me, stretching. The spell casting oracle card. So I have that deck as well that we're going to work with. And again, I love the artwork, and it's got just a single word. So that's going to help us quite a lot as well. So those are the 4 decks that I am going to be working with today for your readings. And as I said, I don't have set questions. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to trust. We're just going to go with the process. So let's have a look and see the 3 readings that we're going to do. What is reading number 1? What is the first word? We have stillness. So are you drawn to stillness? Is stillness something that you want in your life? Is stillness something you crave? Is stillness something that is important and significant to you? Are you feeling like you have too much of it? Are you feeling like you don't have enough of it? Is stillness something that, like, are you thinking, yeah, I need stillness in my life? If that's the case, you know which reading is yours. The very first one that I'm going to do will be the reading around stillness. Let's have a look at the second one. We have comfort. So comfort, also quite an interesting word for me, because stillness can bring comfort. Comfort can bring stillness, but they are 2 very different things, aren't they? So you need to think about this. You need to sort of, just see where it sits within you and see what it feels like within you, and allow yourself to be drawn to an appropriate one. And our third one is gratitude. You know me, I'm such an advocate for gratitude. I love gratitude. Gratitude to me is the one thing that can change your life for the better. So I am such a gratitude ambassador. So I'm so glad that gratitude came out. So do you feel like you are that person? Do you feel like you need to practice a little bit more gratitude in your life? Do you feel like gratitude is something that you don't really maybe even use or work with enough in your life? Or are you the kind of person who believes, as I do, 100% in practicing gratitude every single day? Then that's the reading for you. So stillness, comfort, and gratitude. Take a minute here, pause the video, let it sit. I'll move my hands out the way so that you can pause the video. Let it sit on the words and just go with it, and just see how your body feels, see how your mind reacts, see how your heart responds to stillness, to comfort, and to gratitude. And just notice which one feels right. Let your intuition guide you. Let yourself be guided to any of these 3 readings. If you're drawn to 2 of them, then that's great, because I can assure you the readings are going to be radically different, because I've got no structure. I've got no questions laid out. I've got no theme laid out. We now have words, but the words, like the reading of gratitude, may have absolutely nothing to do with gratitude, as with comfort and stillness. We're just going to trust. We're going to lay out some cards. We're going to read them intuitively, and we're going to let spirit guide it as necessary. So friends, you now know which reading is yours, which reading or readings is yours. And all you need to do now is open up the little the chapters bar at the bottom here, and you can navigate across to the reading that is relevant and appropriate to you. And I hope you enjoy. And like I said, all I ask in return is a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and a comment from you below is always so valued and appreciated. Let's get straight into it. I'll see you there. Right, so hello and welcome to those of you who chose stillness as the reading that you needed to hear right here and right now. We're going to start with the oracle decks first before we get into the tarot, because tarot always gives me detail. Oracle decks sort of give you the overview kind of energy, and the tarot always gives us specifics. So we're going to start with this oracle, which is the Everyday Witch Oracle. And let's give it a shuffle stillness. I'm going to call you all stillness. Let's shuffle stillness, and let's see which oracle card wants to come through. These cards are so big. Which oracle card wants to come through? Which oracle card is relevant and significant for each one of you right now? What is the message that Spirit have for you? What is something that Spirit feel you will need to know right here and right now from this particular oracle deck? Okay, I'm happy with the shuffle. Cut the deck over there and take straight off the top. Just taking one from this deck. Let's have a look and see what we've got. So we have got, I love it. It is Meditation for creativity. We've even got the puppy doing some art and the kitty cat doing some art, and he's cheating and using his magic wand to create some creativity. And you know what it says? Meditation for creativity. Now, for me, being creative or any kind of creative endeavors is so important. I feel like it's my go-go juice. Okay, if and being, creating these kind of videos, that is my creative, that is the one of the things that I do to be creative. And the message that I get from this for every single one of you watching is that is who you are. Meditation is stillness. Stillness is meditation. It's about just being in the now, being in the moment, and not thinking about the shopping that you need to do, the dishes you need to wash, the cleaning you need to do, the work you need to do, the gardening, the this, the chores, the kids, the husband, the wife. It's about forgetting about all of that, and it's about being in the now, being in this current moment, being in this space, and just being. And for me personally, I find creatively, when I am being creative, is when I'm in that space, and that is my meditation. And that's where I find soul stillness. Okay, so we're not talking stillness as in sounds, we're talking stillness as in stillness within the soul, where you want nothing, where you need nothing, where you are just so still, so content, and so happy, and so blissfully unaware of tragedy, drama, chaos, unhappiness, etc. in the world. So you need to find your meditation for creativity that's going to give you the stillness that you need. I'm loving where this is going. So now I'm going to grab, the next Oracle deck, and this is what did I say it was called? Spellcaster's Oracle. So let's draw a card from the Spellcaster's Oracle to add to our message of meditation for creativity. What message does Spirit have for you? What is something important and significant that we all need to know right here and right now, please, Spirit? One card. Okay, and apparently I've got two there, and that's the one that I want. It just feels right. I get that. I don't know how to describe it, but there's just this like feeling that I get that I know that this is the right card. So let's turn it over and let's have a look and see what we've got. What do I say almost every week about pick a cards? I can't make this stuff up. I absolutely can't. So here we have the card of happiness. And if you look at her, again, she's not worried about anything. She's not thinking about the things she has done or the things that she hasn't done. She is like really and truly in the now, in the moment, in this space, and she's happy. Whatever it is that's going on around her, whatever it is that she's doing, whatever her activity is, she is embracing it and she is completely happy. So I'm just moving it around because they are quite large cards and I want to make sure that I've got space for some tarot. So happiness coming through from Spirit. I think it's Spirit saying to you, we need to focus on happiness. We need to focus on, and I'm going to say to you, like, do you really understand what the word happiness means? Do you know what happiness means to you? At what point in your life will you be happy? What needs to happen in order for you to be happy? And I hope you don't have an answer to that question, because if you say like, yes, when I do this, when I've achieved this, or when I have this, or when this happens, then I will be happy. Happiness is not conditional. Okay, happiness should not be conditional. Happiness should not be conditioned based on when you get the promotion at work, or when your bank account looks a certain way, or when your relationship status looks a certain way. Happiness is something that comes from within. Happiness is something that comes from within yourself. And you've got to find your happiness. So even when you're facing challenges and problems and negative situations in your life, you should still have an element of happiness in your soul, because you understand the bigger purpose, the bigger picture, the bigger significance of life. And it's quite interesting how this happiness that we talk about here, when you focus on being in the now, when you focus on living your life moment to moment, yes, we do plan for the future. Yes, we do have goals and ambitions that we're working towards, but we don't allow ourselves to only focus on that. We need to get the most out of every moment of every day. And the way that you do that is by finding your happiness. And happiness is not conditional. You will not find happiness externally. Happiness should not come from anything or anyone outside of you. Happiness needs to start from your heart space. So you need to meditate for creativity to find what drives you, how do you find your stillness? How do you find your true essence? And that is where your happiness lies. Okay. Happiness should not and does not come from external factors. You know what? Eating ice cream makes you happy. It can bring happiness, but it's not the happiness that we're talking about here. Okay. So I'm going to use happiness as the focus. So here I have the main tarot deck. I am going to give it just a shuffle, so that I did shuffle before I started recording, but I do like to just be transparent around the way that I draw out the cards. So I don't want you to think that I have pre-selected anything, because I haven't. So let's just give it, a shuffle. A bad shuffle, apparently. Let's give it a bad shuffle. And again, I don't know how many cards I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw one at a time until I'm happy with the story. And then we will use the mini cards to add some extra flavor and some extra information to it. Right, I had a bunch of cards flip over. Look at what I'm doing. Can you see how badly I am doing here today? Right, let's try that again. Let's shuffle. As I said, I am not going to draw a predetermined number of cards. I am going to draw the cards one by one, and I'm going to tell the story. And when I feel the story is complete, I will start with the mini tarot. So, happy with that shuffle. I managed to get through that. Cut the deck over there. So we are looking at happiness, what defines and what creates your happiness. The first thing that Spirit want to give to you is the Five of Wands. Now, interesting, because the Five of Wands is the card of chaos and conflict. I'm actually going to leave that deck there, and I will just grab from them as I need. So Five of Wands is the card of chaos and conflict, which means that there is always chaos and conflict in our lives. You know what? As much as we all try so hard to avoid it, we all try so hard to remove chaos, to eliminate chaos, to remove the conflict, to not get involved in conflict. Let's be honest, life is full of chaos and conflict. We cannot actually avoid it as much as we try. Even if you're the kind of person who sits quietly in the corner and just observes, you're still exposed to chaos and conflict. You know, all you have to do is switch on the TV. All you have to do is switch on the radio. All you have to do is scroll social media, and you're going to see chaos and conflict everywhere. You have a phone call from your best friend, and I can almost guarantee you that that phone call is going to have an element of chaos and conflict in it. We tend to draw and hold on to chaos and conflict, don't we? Instead of focusing on happiness. And we need to change our focus. And I think that's what this card is saying to us, is we need to change our focus. We need to change our focus to be more around the things that bring us happiness and joy, and less of the chaos and conflict that we have going on. Second card we're drawing for you is the King of Cups. And it's quite interesting that the King of Cups has come through. So if we look at the King of Cups, he sits on his own little island. And look at the size of his island. I mean, it is literally big enough for his throne, and that's it. It doesn't mean that he's less powerful. It doesn't mean that he's less significant. But it's almost like he has separated himself from everybody else. Okay, so it's almost like he's got all his people on the main island, and he's withdrawn himself, and he's separated himself, and he's on a completely different island. He does have a telescope with him, which means that he can see them. So even though he has withdrawn, he's still very much active. And I think it's interesting how I commented how you may be the kind of person who just sits in the corner and watches, because this is exactly what he's doing. He's there, he's supportive, he's caring, he's nurturing, he's etc. All of that kind of stuff, but he's still separate. He's choosing to stay out of the chaos and conflict. He's supportive, and he will help wherever he can. He will do whatever he can to support his people, to support his kingdom. But at the same time, he has removed himself from the chaos and the conflict, or any kind of disruption that may come through from that. The message that I get for you around this is that Spirit saying, you know, recognize and acknowledge how you are responding to the chaos and conflict in your life. Have you done this, or do you need to do this? Okay, and just ask yourself, does it bring you happiness? Does it bring you closer to your creative juices and to your happiness? Because that is what matters most of all. And I'm going to take one more, because I feel like there's more to say. And sorry, happiness, I'm moving you out the way a little bit because we're running out of space. Right, and the third card that I have drawn for you here is the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is such an interesting card, because the Three of Wands says you've made your decisions, you've made your choices, you know exactly what your goals are, what you're working towards, what you need to do. And where you're at in your life now, you've made some progress, okay? You've made some progress on your path. You're sort of partway through your goals, your dreams, your desires, and your ambitions. But you're not quite there yet. But what you're doing here is you're sort of doing a stop check. So it's almost like a milestone checkpoint where you're saying, okay, well, this is where I am. How much further do I have to go? What more do I need to do? How much further before I find my happiness? And again, I'm wondering with our King of Cups, and it's interesting how I noticed that he's on this Isle of Dwala. I don't think I've ever actually noticed that in the card before. And with the Three of Wands coming over here, it's basically saying, you know what you need to do. You're already partway through that, but it's almost like now you're hesitating. It's almost like now you're pulling back a little bit and saying, right, maybe this is not where I want to be, or maybe this is not what I want to be doing. Maybe. And you're questioning and checking yourself before you make any further progress. I'm going to take the tarot out of the way there, and I want to now bring out our mini tarot. So this is now an entire deck again, which means that these three cards get the opportunity to come out again if they so wish. So while I'm shuffling these, I'm basically asking Spirit any kind of clarity, any kind of additional information, anything that they want to emphasize based on what I've already said for you as to the message that Spirit had for you right here and right now. Okay, so I'm happy with my shuffle there, and I'm going to just cut the deck like that. And I'm taking straight off the top, sticking it over there. Gosh, it is so tiny. Oh, this is so interesting. I have to bring it closer for you. It is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is such an interesting card because here we have this lady who is looking super confident, okay? She is super confident of herself, of her activities, and of her actions. We've got this lady in red who seems to be fairly devastated. She seems to be fairly upset around the whole scenario. And then you've got this lady in the grey going, She seems to be a bit confused. She seems like, what's going on? I don't quite understand it. So basically, these three ladies used to work together. They used to be a unit. They did everything together. But now suddenly, this lady has stepped forward and taken over. And these two are going, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand. And maybe what's happened is these two might have been the dominant ones. And they've taken over from this lady. And now she's like fighting back. And she's saying, no, actually, I'm going to do it my way. This time around, I'm doing it my way. So she has almost stepped forward and she's almost owning herself. I see the camera is out of focus. So she's sort of owning herself and she's sort of standing up for herself and she's saying, you know what? My happiness matters. My needs, wants, and desires are just as equally important as yours. And actually, this time around, we're doing it my way. So it's almost like she's being a little bit more assertive. And honestly, friends, I think this is the message that Spirit are coming through for you. You need to recognize that in order for you to be truly happy, in order for you to find your creativity, to let your juices flow, you've got to stand up and be counted. You've got to stand up and say, I choose not to be involved in everybody else's chaos. I'm stepping away from that. I'm stepping away from that. I'm separating myself. I'm still there. I still support you. I still care about you. And I still want you to be happy. But I choose not to be involved in the chaos. I choose I'm checking to see where I am. I'm checking to see how far I've come. I'm checking to see what I have accomplished in my life so far and what I still need to accomplish. And in order for me to achieve what I still need to accomplish, I need to stand up for myself. And I need to tell other people it's my way for a change. I'm going to take one last card just because I feel like it. And what we have is the Two of Cups. And if you do that, if you're able to stand up for yourself, if you're able to be a little bit more assertive in what you want, what you need, you're going to find the bliss, the happiness, and the success that you're looking for. The Two of Cups is about partnership. It's about celebrations. It's about coming together. It's about achieving your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions, but also about sharing it with the people that matter the most to you. So, I love this. So friends, I hope those of you who chose stillness as the reading that was relevant for you, that was necessary for you, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you whatever it is that you needed right now. I hope you feel like, okay, I know what I need to do. I know how I need to tackle going forward. And I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm not going to let everybody push me around and bully me anymore because my happiness matters. Lots of love and blessings, as always, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Hello and welcome. Welcome to those of you who chose comfort as the message or the reading that has exactly what it is that you need to hear right here and right now. I'm quite excited to see what's going to come through for your reading. So we're going to get straight into it. I'm not going to dilly-daddle much longer. In my hands over here, I have the Everyday Witch Oracle, and I'm going to give it a shuffle, and I'm going to draw a single card from here. So we're asking Spirit, what is it that you need to hear, right now? What is the message that Spirit has for you in this moment, whenever it is that you're watching this video? What is something important and significant that you need, that Spirit want to share with you? Whoopsie, right here and right now. Apparently, that one felt right, so I'm going to take it. I don't normally take the jumpers, but that one just felt right. Actually, let's turn it over and see. The message from the Everyday Witch Oracle from Spirit for you right now. And the card that we have, oh, it's beautiful. I want you to see if you can see. It says ground and center. So here we have this gentleman. He is standing on Mother Earth. He is standing connecting to the ground. He's got his 2 feet, and it's interesting how he's got his feet hip width apart, solid. He's standing confidently. He's not leaning on one hip or leaning on one foot. He's standing solid. He's got his hands open, and he's sort of lifting his chin. When you lift your chin, it's almost like you open up your chest, open up your heart space. So if you've done any yoga, you will understand what that means. So you're opening up your heart space, chin up, head up to the ground, and he's just head up to the sky, and he is just connecting. He is grounding with Mother Earth, bringing his energy down through his torso, through his body into the ground, and at the same time he is connecting with the energy above. And by doing that, you remove any negative energy that you may be holding on to, but you're almost flushing the negative away and re-energizing yourself with positive energy. So grounding and centering is something that we should all be doing very, very regularly, but it's something we don't do because we're all just so busy all the time, isn't it? And from it, and it's interesting how it connects to the word comfort as well. Because when you ground and connect, when you are so grounded and centered, you do feel confident, comfortable, and almost capable to handle anything that life throws at you. So I think that's a beautiful message to start off with. We'll see what the rest of the cards want to contribute. I'm now grabbing the second oracle, and this is I never remember this deck. Spellcaster's Oracle. I never remember what it's called. So let's see from Spellcaster's Oracle. Let's give it a shuffle, and we're drawing just a single card from Spellcaster's Oracle. Something important and significant that you need to know right here and right now. Anything that Spirit want to share with you right here and right now. Let's see. Whoopsie. And I'm going to cut the deck that way, and I'm taking card off the top. Right. Spellcaster's Oracle, we have got ground and center. Let's have a look and see what Spellcaster's Oracle wants to give you. Empowerment. You know, as soon as I saw empowerment, immediately what came to me is it's not the same as this pose, but it is similar. And that is the power pose. I don't know if you're familiar with the power pose. So when you stand with your feet apart like that, and you take your hands into fists and you put them straight into your hips, onto your waist, and elbows back, shoulders back, head up, and you stand like that for 3 minutes. They call it the power pose. And what it does is it releases endorphins and all sorts of beautiful things in your body, and it just makes you feel stronger, capable, more powerful. And it's interesting, grounding and centering should bring us a sense of comfort, a sense of almost easiness and empowerment. I get that. So it's almost like I want to do a combination of gently connecting to earth, gently lowering our energy levels, removing any negativity, revitalizing our energy, but at the same time really empowering ourselves. Because honestly, friends, when I look at this together, I think this is Spirit saying to you that you need to take better care of yourself. You need to take care not just of your physical, not just of your emotional, because let's be honest, we're very focused on the physical and the emotional aspects of ourselves, but this is more about the energy. Okay, this is more about the energetic part of you and being empowered. You know, energetically, if you are energetically empowered, it means that you feel more confident in the physical, mental, emotional aspects of anything that you do. When you are disempowered, suddenly everything goes smaller. Everything, we sort of go into fetal position because we don't feel capable and strong enough to deal with. So if we can practice grounding and centering on a regular basis, you'll be amazed at how it just energizes you to make you feel better, stronger, more capable, and clearly that is something that you need right now. Okay, from my left-hand side, I am grabbing the tarot deck. So this is the Everyday Witch Tarot. I'm going to give it a shuffle. I did obviously shuffle before I started the recording, but I do like to shuffle while I have you on camera. I don't know how many cards I'm going to draw. Okay, there is no there's no predetermined anything in this particular reading. I just knew I was taking one each of the oracles. But when it comes to the tarot, I have absolutely no idea how many I'm going to take. I'm going to shuffle the cards. We're setting the intention that whatever needs to come through will come through. Whatever message Spirit have for you, I will hear, I will receive, and I will give. And I'm just going to draw one card at a time until I feel like the story is done, until I feel like the message is done. Okay, so we're just going to shuffle. And we're just going to take the cards as we need to. So let's do this. I think I'm happy with that shuffle. It feels right. Cutting the deck over there. Okay, so I'm going to leave the deck there and I'm going to grab the first card. So the first card we have for you is the World. I love this. So the World is the card of accomplishment and achievement. It's the world is the card of coming full circle, of recognizing that you've achieved your dreams, achieved your goals, and achieved your ambitions. And it's time to celebrate that. It's time to enjoy, reap the rewards of your efforts, but also recognizing that this doesn't mean the end. This means the end of that dream, that goal, that ambition, and now we're moving on to the next one. And I think it's also connected to grounding and centering, because when you achieve something, it's important to feel that energy, to transmute that energy, to clear that energy, almost like you are clearing the path for the next adventure, clearing the path for the next chapter in your life. But the World card talks about achievement. It says, so this is Spirit saying, recognize your accomplishments, recognize your achievements, because in recognizing your accomplishments and achievements, you will also feel more empowered. But when we don't recognize what we've done, when we don't take a minute to actually say, you know what, I actually did that, and I actually did that really well. It's not about ego. And I think this is where it comes in, because on an energy level, we're so afraid of operating an ego. We're so afraid of coming across as being arrogant. We're so afraid of all of those kind of negative thought patterns that we've actually stopped feeling. And I think this is Spirit saying, no, we need to have those emotions. We need to go through that. But energetically, you need to acknowledge what you have already done and accomplished, so that you can sort of just say, you know what, I've done that. Now I'm ready to move on to the next. But when everything is left unfinished or unacknowledged, it gives you that unfinished kind of feeling. Okay, next card on our story, we have the Four of Wands. So you know what, there's a theme developing here. Okay, there is absolutely a theme here, because the Four of Wands is the card of celebration. It's the card of commitment, celebration, joyous activities. If we have a look at what we've got here, we've got four ladies who have come together to celebrate something. We don't know what it is to celebrate. It could be a birthday, could be an anniversary, it could be a wedding, it could be just an achievement, an accomplishment, but there is definitely celebration. Even the kitty cats have come out to celebrate with them, but they're acknowledging the achievement and the accomplishment of something, and they're taking the time to celebrate. And if you've ever done that, you know how empowering it is. You know how it just makes you feel. Grounding and centering means we're in the now, we're in this moment, we're right here, right now, and we're just sort of transmuting the energy that's around us. And this is something that's clearly important to each one of you. I want another one. Okay. And I'm going to bring this one closer, because this one seems to be quite relevant. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is, the poor oak, the poor guy, he is stabbed in his back 10 times. Not once, not twice, 10 times. But he's not dead. He's not dying. There's nothing wrong here. There runs the person who has caused him harm. They're running away. The cat is even ready to fight and ready to defend. But look what he's doing. He's reaching for his mode of transport, okay? Because he is a witchling. He's reaching for his broom, because he knows that if he can gain it, if he can get it, everything's going to be okay. I also want to acknowledge we've got a vulture right there dropping feathers. So it's a very real scenario. But even though he is literally man down, even though it's been a long, hard, difficult journey, he's not giving up. When he's hitting rock bottom, he's not giving up. And the message that's coming through here is, again, we are all so focused on the challenges, the problems, the difficulties that we may face in life, that we give up before we should be giving up. And I think this is Spirit saying, actually, you've got to recognize you have been through a lot. You have been man down. You have been hitting rock bottom. You've been there. Maybe once, maybe twice, maybe many times over. You've absolutely been there. But you know what? Let's celebrate. Let's acknowledge how you've never given up, how you've always dug deep within yourself, found a way, found inner strength within yourself to just overcome your challenges, to get up, to face yet another day. And if we can change our energy from celebrating this, instead of focusing on how bad it was and how tragic it was and how awful it was, to recognizing, you know what, yes, it was bad. Absolutely. We're not taking anything away there. But you found the courage, the strength, the stamina, the wherewithal. You found the way to every single day to get up and face a new day. And that is something that needs to be celebrated. That is something that needs to be acknowledged. And the World card is also Spirit saying, one cycle is done, one circle is done, one revolution is done, and it's time to start preparing for the next adventure, for the next chapter in your life. And the way that you're going to do that is by celebrating, acknowledging, and being present in the here and the now. So before I do that, let me move these out of the way. I'm now grabbing our mini tarot. So it's exactly the same deck as this, but obviously just a little bit smaller. And that means that any of the cards that we might want to, any of the cards that we have already used, get a chance to come out again if they so wish and desire. But let's just see from the mini tarot, what else does Spirit want to add? What other kind of clarification or confirmations does Spirit want to give us for you right here and right now? Okay, so one card fell on the table. I'm going to accept that one. And I'm going to, well, actually, let's talk about that one. I'm going to leave, I haven't drawn a card. I'm going to leave the deck over there. Let's talk about this one. So what we have over here, when the camera wants to focus, is the King of Cups. Now, look at him sitting. He's sitting very comfortably and very squarely on his little table, on his chair, I should say. We've got dolphins in the background. We've got a mermaid in the background. He's got his cat with him. There is an abundance of fish around him. He is the king of emotions. He is the one who is very much in control of his emotions. Not only of his emotions, but he's very much in control of everybody's emotions. So he's the kind of person, I'm going to call him the conductor in an orchestra, okay? He's very aware of where everybody is. He's very aware of what everybody's going through. And he sort of knows when to bring them in, when to use them, when to make them louder, softer, faster, slower, whatever it is. He is conducting on an emotional level everybody's energy. And I think this is what Spirit is saying, is you need to recognize that that's your function. That is what you do. You are very much in control of navigating everybody's energy, everybody's emotion. So much so that you often neglect your own. Because I can tell you, his motivation for getting up is not for himself. But it's probably because, oh, so-and-so needs me, and so-and-so, I promised them this, and I promised them that, and they can't do it without me. His motivation is other people's happiness. And I think when I look at all of this that's going on here, Spirit saying, you know what, other people's happiness does matter, and you are very focused on other people's happiness, and maybe you need to shift it to be more about your own happiness. But I'm going to draw one more card here, and let's see what we get. We get the Six of Swords. I love that, because you know what, the Six of Swords, this is you here in the little green dress, okay, with the little green striped socks, with a bag on your back that carries everything that is important and significant to you. You're hitching a ride with two complete strangers. They were about to jump off or about to fly off, and you sort of said, no, wait, can I get a lift? Okay, so you've hitched a ride with two complete strangers. You didn't even ask, where are we going? You didn't even ask, where are we off to? You just sort of said, take me anywhere, and take me now. And I think when I look at the whole story that's coming up here, is Spirit is saying you need to be more practical. You need to be more realistic with yourself around your circumstances, because your circumstances are clearly, when I look at that card and I look at this card, your circumstances are not fabulous, okay? I'm just going to say it as it is. They're not fabulous. You're doing your best. Of course you are. But you're doing your best because other people need you, because of other people's needs, wants, and desires, instead of focusing on you. I think, you know, the King of Cups there, you know, he is very much in control. He is very confident in everything that he does, but at the same time his only concern is other people, not necessarily himself. And I think it's a great quality to have, to be concerned for other people. But I do think grounding and centering is saying, Spirit saying to you, come back to you. Come back to who you are. Come back to what is important. Running away and trying to see what else is out there, what else you need to do, and what else is relevant and important is maybe not the right thing. You need to stay and face the challenges and the difficulties. Stay and face the challenges and difficulties and celebrate. Even if it is the tiniest, smallest achievement, celebrate it. Because by celebrating what you have accomplished and what you've already done, it will empower you to do more. And that is the message from Spirit for you today, friends. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it makes sense to you. I hope it gives you the nudge that you need in the right direction to achieve the things that you need to in your life. Friends, thank you so much. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Right, those of you who chose gratitude as the reading for you right now, welcome. I'm so excited to do your reading. I'm so excited to see what's going to come through. We're going to start off with the Everyday Witch Oracle, and I'm going to draw just a single card from this deck. I do apologize for the glare. So we're looking for a single card from this deck. I have, oopsie, no idea what's going to come through. Oh my gosh, I can't even shuffle cards today. Forgive me. You know what I'm like, terrible shuffle. And these cards are quite large. So let's shuffle the Everyday Witch Oracle. We're asking Spirit, what is an important message that they have for you right now? What is something that they need you to hear, that they need you to know? What is something important and significant that Spirit want to share with you right now? I am happy with that shuffle. I'm cutting the deck over there and taking a card off the top. So let's see, Everyday Witch Oracle, message from Spirit. What do you need to know right here and right now? And we have got, actually, let me bring it closer because the writing is quite tiny. Tears of joy and sadness. Now, if we look at the artwork, so here we have a lady. She's even got on her dress all these tears. I love the kitty cat. The kitty cat is grinning. Now, I want you to note this person and this person are different. They're the same, but they're showing different aspects of themselves. She's putting on a brave face, but she is crying. You can see the tears are running down her face. This kitty cat ears are back, almost an aggressive kind of stance, and yet the kitty cat in the mirror is laughing and happy. So it shows that what we show on the outside versus what is happening on the inside are often very, very different. And this is the message that's coming through from Spirit today. It's about recognizing and acknowledging what you're feeling on the inside versus what you're showing on the outside, and checking if they're the same, checking if they're talking the same language, because often we do that, don't we? We often hide our true feelings as a way of protecting ourselves, of keeping ourselves safe, of keeping ourselves secure, so that we don't feel weak, vulnerable, exposed, or anything like that, because we don't know who we can trust. And even with your closest, nearest and dearest important people in your life, we often don't truly show what we're feeling. Sometimes we do. You may be that kind of person who has your heart on your sleeve, but even then, when you do and you have the tears running down your face, that's often not really what's going on inside, because those tears could be frustration, could be anger, not always only sadness. So tears of joy and sadness, it's about understanding that, life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of emotions, sometimes a good emotion, sometimes bad emotions. And it's this never-ending cycle. We're all working so hard to create this even, balanced, emotional mindset. But actually, is that healthy? I don't know if that's healthy. I don't know if that's what we need to be. And I think Spirit is saying, for each of you who have chosen the gratitude reading, it's about recognizing that and trying to sort of understand, where are we on our scale, on our measure? Are we too much there, or are we too flatline and too stuck in the middle? So we'll see what the rest of the message comes through, but tears of joy and sadness is about acknowledgement and, almost, if I can say, recognition of the varying emotions and the tears, and how the one activity of shedding tears, of crying, could be for good or for bad, for positive or for negative. This is the Spellcaster's Oracle. Yes, I've got it right. I never remember the name of this one. Let's give it a shuffle once I've finished dropping cards all over the table. And I'm also just looking for a single card from this particular deck. I just want one card from this deck, just that's going to continue our story, that's just going to contribute to our story, contribute to the message that Spirit wants me to pass on to each one of you here today. Okay, I'm happy with that. Shuffling and cutting way back there, drawing a card. I love the colors on the back of this deck, absolutely gorgeous. Let's turn it over and see what Spellcaster's Oracle wants to share with us. Peace. You see, so it's about understanding our strengths, our weaknesses, understanding our emotions, understanding our highs and our lows, and making peace with it all. and recognizing and accepting it all and just saying, you know what, it's okay. It's okay if I am angry. It's okay if I'm sad. It's okay, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, whatever's happening. It's okay as long as you have peace in your heart. And when we try and hide our emotions, when we try and hide our true feelings and our highs and our lows, when we try and keep ourselves on this on this even balance, sometimes we lose the peace that we have within our hearts. So peace is important. It's important, and peace means something different to every single one of us. For some of you, peace may be being able to express your highs and your lows, your sadness and your happiness. Maybe that's what gives you a sense of peace. And for other people, having that even keeled emotional mindset is what gives you a sense of peace. But don't allow yourself to be pulled into one of those, one of the sadness or the joy. Don't allow yourself to be pulled into one of those because you think it's going to bring you that level of peace that you're looking for, because this is different for everyone. So for me, it may be one way, and for you, it may be a completely different way, but both of us need to have peace in our hearts. So this is going to be a very interesting reading, friends. Here I have the tarot deck, and I'm going to give it a shuffle. While I'm shuffling this particular deck, I just want to let you know that I have no idea. I haven't decided how many cards I'm drawing from this tarot deck. I'm just going to draw cards one at a time, one by one, until I feel like the message or the reading or the story is complete. So it may be one card, it may be two cards, it may be three cards, it may be four cards. I have no idea. We're just going to shuffle, and I'm going to start turning the cards over one by one, reading the story, giving you the message, and when I feel like it's complete, I will stop. So we're asking Spirit to explain the tears of joy and happiness and the peace in our hearts and the peace in our souls. Okay, so I'm happy with the shuffle. Again, cutting quite far back. Right, and I'm going to leave the deck over there, push it out the way, and I'm just drawing cards straight off the top. So the first card we have is the Lover's card. And this makes so much sense to me because the Lover's card is about, highs and lows. It's about tears of joy and happiness. If you've ever been truly in love, you can be so happy that the tears are running down your face. And you can also be so angry that the tears are running down your face, because let's be honest, that line between love and hate is such a fine line, isn't it? Between peace and war, it's a fine line. Everything can be absolutely fine on one side. One little thing happens and immediately we're on the other side, and immediately everything is so different. And when I look at this card, it's almost like there's this mirror image between the two people. I can clearly see that they're different. Even the cats, I can clearly see they're different, but the card is evenly split down the center, and it's almost like they are coming together as two halves to form a whole. And we've got to understand that the tears of joy and happiness is part of life. Not everything in life is not, okay, let me rephrase that. Not everything in life is going to work out amazingly. Life is all about the ups and the downs, because it's the day and the night. It's the combination of the opposites that brings us balance, that brings us peace, that brings us learning, understanding, and comprehension. So relationships are also going to be full of the ups and downs. Life is going to be full of ups and downs, and we need to learn how to accept that. We need to learn how to work within that. And this is what the message that Spirit are giving you. Now, what we have over here with this particular card being the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is the card of being overly defensive. And I think we are all, and I'm sure each one of you listening to me right now, watching me right now, you will recognize that in certain aspects of your life, you're overly defensive. You're very quick to say, no, it wasn't me. No, that's not what I mean. No, that's not what I was saying. We're so quick to defend ourselves before we've even questioned or given everybody else a chance to explain themselves. And the Seven of Wands in this particular case is saying, you're assuming that all these people are out to get you. You're assuming that each of these people want to hurt you or want to put you in a corner or want to treat you negatively. But if you actually stop for a second and say, how can I help you? What is it that you want from me? You may find that they're actually your friends and not your foes. But if you're just so quick to say no all the time, you're missing a lot. I'm going to say to you, with this tears of joy and happiness and the peace card that's coming through, I want to make you a challenge. Over the next 7 days, anytime somebody asks you a question, before you answer, say yes. So before you allow the normal words to come out your mouth, say yes. Just accept and take everything at face value that gets given to you and see where that gets you. Because I think anytime somebody says, oh, can I help you? You're like, no, 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 it's fine. I got it. Okay. And we need to change that. We need to change our way of responding and our way of accepting connections, because that's what the Lover's card is. It's about connections. We need to learn how to change our initial response and initial reaction. Instead of hiding our truth, let's be more open. Let's be more real. Let's allow people in. Let's allow people to assist us and allow people to help us and see what that brings us, because I think it's going to bring quite a lot. And the third card that I've drawn for you is the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands is interesting because here he stands at the top of his castle. He's got all his kitty cats and everybody with him. Look what he's holding in his hand. It's an earth. It's the globe. So he's sort of saying, okay, I could stay here in my castle where I have everything I need, where I'm happy, I'm settled, I'm content, life is good, life is fabulous. Or I could go anywhere. I have the whole world in my hands. I have choice. I have option. I could go absolutely anywhere. But he's now weighing up his pros and his cons in trying to decide what next. We need to let go of our masks. We need to drop our masks so that we can be honest with ourselves, so that we can be honest with everybody around us in making decisions, in making choices of what we want to do, where we want to go, and how we want to do it. Being so overly defensive all the time and just saying, no, 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 it's fine, I got it, is the problem, is not getting you where you need to be. We need to drop our masks. We need to be happy with who we are. We need to be content with who we are. We need to be at peace with who we are so that we can have progress in our lives. I'm taking one more because I just feel like I need one more. The Justice card. You know what? We need to do the right thing. And the right thing not for other people, but for ourselves. Not for what everybody else needs, but for who we are and what we are. So the Justice card is about recognizing that we need to make decisions based on facts, based on logic, not external logic, not society's logic, not society's expectations, but your own. You need to be honest with yourself because you're not being honest with yourself at the moment. You need to learn to be more honest with yourself around your own needs, wants, and desires, because it's only when you're honest with yourself that you're going to find the peace that you need in your heart space. So as you can see, I am shuffling the mini tarot. So any of these cards that I have already used get a chance to show themselves again if they want to. And as I'm shuffling this little mini deck, I'm saying to Spirit, any clarity, any confirmation, anything else that needs to come through that's important and significant, please let it come through now. Right, I'm happy with that shuffle. I'm going to cut the deck over there. And I'm going to leave the deck in this little corner here, and I'm going to take straight off the top. So the first card we have is the Empress. I love that. So the Empress, you can see that she is pregnant. She's got she's nurturing her pregnant belly. She's got all her animals around her. The trees are lush with fruit. She has abundance. She has everything. She's about to give life. She gives life to everything around her, which means that you have the ability to create and to manifest anything that you desire for yourself. If you can love it, you can have it. If it's something that you desire, if it's something that's important to you, you can truly manifest it and give life to it. But if you're not honest with yourself around who you are and what you want, if you are overly defensive, you are never going to manifest anything that you want. You're never going to bring to life your true desires. And your true desires is that globe. Your true desires is being able to go anywhere, being able to do anything, being able to just have no restrictions on your limits. And you know that this is what you deserve. You know that this is what you want. You know that you want those kind of connections, but you've got to learn to be honest with yourself. You've got to learn to remove your mask and reveal your true feelings, your true identity, your true self, because that's when you're going to find the peace to give life, to give birth to the things that matter most to you. And the second card that I'm drawing for you, look at that. It's the Strength card. She has tamed the lion, okay? She has used the magic within her. There's tornadoes. There's chaos all around her. But she's not focusing on the chaos. She's focusing on the connection that she has with the lion. She's focusing on this beautiful beast that she's tamed and recognizing that this beast actually resides within her. It's not, even though it looks like it's external to her, it's actually her and the lion. They are one and the same. They are kindred souls, kindred spirits. And together, she knows, as long as she's got her lion by her side, she can overcome and accomplish anything. Now, that lion is courage, it's strength, but it's not defensiveness. Okay, so you've got to look at these two cards and you've got to sort of ask yourself, am I being overly defensive? Am I being overly quick to judge, to criticize, to walk away from? What am I avoiding? What am I not seeing? How am I not being transparent with myself in everything that I have in life? Gosh. So that was a deep message. That was a really deep reading, and I hope it means something to you. I hope it helps you. I hope it connects the dots for you in your life, in the way things are unfolding for you in your life, the way things are always just sort of out of reach. Pay attention to this, friends, because I think this was relevant. I think this was quite important and significant, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope it just gives you the nudge that you need to make the changes that you need to in your life. And as always, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.